Hi, I'm Bill Leesman with Team Leesman Cares, and we have Kathy Mendham with Proactive Seniors here to talk about a lot of different things. Hi, Kathy, how are you?
I'm good, Bill. Hi.
Good, good. So why don't you, we've got your name out there, but introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about yourself and your company and go from there.
Sure. Thanks, Bill. As Bill said, my name is Kathy Mendham, and I'm the founder of a consulting company called Proactive Seniors. And we've been in business in Calgary since 2016, and we're pretty unique. We specialize in helping to fill the gaps for seniors for their families. So, our role is to make sure that seniors get the information that they need to make decisions in a timely manner so that they can have better outcomes for their health and their happiness. So that generally encompasses two main areas. We help seniors who want to stay in their home or they want to downsize to a smaller home. We make sure that they have a very robust plan so that they're prepared to do that. And for seniors who need or want to move into a retirement residence or into a care facility, we make sure they get into the one that suits them the best. So those are our primary focuses, and we love what we do.
Excellent. And it comes across that you love what you do. How did you get involved with and develop an interest in working with the navigation of senior housing and working with seniors in particular?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, if we go way back, my background is in healthcare, and I've always worked in healthcare. And for all of the pros and cons, we've got a great system here in Canada, but it has its challenges as well. And when my father was aging and unwell and near the end of his life, having to be part of the healthcare system from that perspective really opened my eyes to how hard it is for families to get the information they need, to get care when they need it. We have lots of great services and programs for seniors, but they're simply not using them because they don't know how to find them and they don't know what they need. So I decided that that was something I could help with, and that's how Proactive Seniors came to be. In terms of how did we get into housing support? Well, when we first started helping seniors, the focus was really on planning and helping them to prepare for the future, to know what services they needed, to know what programs they needed, with primarily a focus for seniors that are wanting to stay in their home. But what we found was that it was always prudent to talk about what if. What if you can't stay in your home? What if this isn't going to be the long-term solution? Or what if you need to move sooner rather than later? So because of that, we really started to develop an expertise in seniors housing. And so we went and researched and toured every single seniors housing option in Calgary. And there's over 200. So we created a database and a search engine, and we keep very close in touch with all of the seniors housing facilities so that when we're helping a senior or the family together choose the right location, we have all of the up-to-date information. We know what's good about some of these locations. We know what's maybe not as good about some of them. We know all of the options in the public system, in the private system, in the subsidized not-for-profit system. So there's just too much information for seniors to know all of that and to make decisions in a reasonable time frame. So we figured we'd be the experts and we can help people get to that decision quicker, more accurately, and just simplify the process so that they don't have to spend months and months trying to get the information they need. We can provide it to them really quickly and help them make really good choices.
So you empower the families and the seniors to make decisions that's best for them.
Very much. It really doesn't make any difference to us where someone moves into as long as it's their best fit. And that needs to be based on their healthcare requirements, not just now, but in the future. It has to fit their personality. What do they like to do? What do they not like to do? What kind of activities do they enjoy? What's important to them? And then, of course, it has to fit their financial criteria. And so we bring all those components together and we help to identify, from all the 200 options, which are the 5 or the 6 that actually fit all of your criteria and are good quality companies. And then you choose from those. You choose from the options that are your specific options as opposed to trying to pick from this unwieldy group of too many options.
Well, you've done a lot of the legwork, and that's invaluable to everybody that you meet. If you had to go into what is the most common question you run into when you meet families that are working to plan a move like this, what would be a question or two that you run into that just you run into all the time?
Well, I guess the first one is people are totally overwhelmed with the terminology and on all of those options. So I always like to simplify it down for people and say, essentially, there's three sources of funding for seniors housing, and there's three types of care, and they overlap. But if we can simplify it down to that, people can choose between the private sector, the public sector, which is supported through Alberta Health Services, or the nonprofit, so subsidized housing for low-income seniors. And then in the other side, there's three levels of care. There's independent living, there's supported or assisted living, and then there's long-term care. So one of the questions that people really need help with is understanding that landscape. I guess that's kind of one of the most important things. The other thing people are always concerned about is the cost. Always. It doesn't matter if someone is in the low income bracket or at the highest income bracket, they're surprised at the cost. And it really helps when we can help them work through, how much does it cost to live where they are currently? And how does that compare with the cost of supported living in whatever setting suits them best, so that they can really feel comfortable that they're working within a budget that they can afford, but they're getting the best amount of support and amenities and services that they can afford as well. So it's about making sure there's a lot of value there for their hard-earned dollars.
Excellent. That's a lot of information to unpack. Is there anything else that you think people don't realize but would benefit from knowing when it comes to planning a move to a residence?
Well, timing, certainly, it's really important to plan ahead. A lot of people don't realize that there's often wait lists. So in the public sector, so anything through supportive living, the important things to know there is the public healthcare system is not allowed to talk to people about what's available in the private sector. And so they don't consider those options when maybe they could. And secondly, that in the public housing through Alberta Health Services, there's always going to be wait lists. There's always going to be more demand than supply. And that's just the nature of that environment that's funded through the government. And so people need to plan ahead. They need to have time to look at their options. Often in the public sector, they're told to wait and then all of a sudden hurry up and make a decision. And that's really hard on families. And so we can help them through that process and help them get to a decision quicker so that they have the information they need. The other thing that's important to know in the subsidized low-income housing, there's lots of low-income housing for seniors. There's absolutely no reason why a senior wouldn't be eligible for some kind of supported living, but the wait lists are very long in that not-for-profit sector. They can be 12 to 18 months. So, again, planning ahead and having some time to prepare really makes a big difference in the choices that people have.
So on that note, can people get a first right of refusal, get to the top of the list? How does that list in general work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in the private retirement residence market, where it's private pay, most certainly you can put a deposit down on the suite of your choice if it's not available or you don't want it right now. And when it becomes available, they'll let you know and you have that opportunity to take it at that time or to pass, and it will go on to the next person who's on the list. So once you've identified what locations you like and you prefer, and even as down to what suite in what building you prefer, you can put your name on that and you can say, let me know when this is available, when it's up for consideration, and then you can choose it or you can pass and wait for the next time it comes around. So it's you're really well positioned if you can make those preparations in advance, and then you have that option when you need it.
Excellent. We often are working with people 12 months, 15 months, 24 months out from any of these things. But from your perspective, how long do you suggest someone start the planning to to make sure that they're able to relocate where they want? Like, what kind of time frame does that look like from your perspective?
It's a great question. We get that asked all the time. There's a couple of different answers for that. We love working with seniors that are just in early stages of retirement, and they want to know what seniors housing looks like, what that might feel like if they chose to do it, what it costs. And so we go through our assessment process. We get an understanding of what they like, what they want, what they need. And we can look at a few locations. They can even put their name down on a wait list if they want. But then we know what they're interested in. And as new buildings come on the market, and they're constantly coming on the market, new buildings, because of the baby boom generation, then we know what they're looking for, and we can get them in to look at those new buildings when the prices are low or there's incentives. So early is great. But when we often talk to people is when they are starting to realize that their option of living at home is becoming more challenging than they want. And they're starting to consider what a seniors housing alternative would be. And that's when we come into the picture. So 12 months is a great lead time. If we've got 12 months to work with, that is tons of time to find them something wonderful. But we're often helping people that are in crisis and they need something tomorrow. And that happens too. That's not ideal for anybody, but that happens too. So we really can help anyone at any stage. But if people are really being proactive, I think if you're looking 12 months out, you're going to have lots of options. You're going to be able to get on lots of lists, and you'll be at the front of the line when you want to make that choice.
So, I mean, that's a great segue into your name, being proactive.
Yes.
and we want
favorite word.
we really want to point out that we appreciate the void that you fill. The void that you fill in with our clients. You've helped several of our clients, and in fact jumped in and helped our family as well. So you've done a great job doing that. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we wrap this short Q&A interview up?
I just so appreciate the relationship we have with you and Jackie, and it takes a village. You hear that on so many levels, whether you're raising children or helping your aging parents, or whether you're seniors yourself. You need a team. You need people that are there to support you, and you need to know who those people are. And so what I value so much about our relationship and about the people that we all work together with is that we can all support seniors and their families from the different perspectives that we work from, but we're all working towards a common goal. And the goal is the health and the happiness of seniors, and making sure that they are living their best life, and that their families feel well supported, and that everybody's relationships are fostered because everyone's feeling comfortable and on the same page. And I think we're all coming at that support from our own areas of expertise, and if a senior or a family can bring together a team of people to help them, they're going to have an easier transition through life, and that's what we're here to do, is make that transition as easy as can be.
Excellent. Well, we really want to thank you for taking part of this. That was excellent. Lots of information that we can share out with people, and hopefully people can take advantage of that, and we will finish this up.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bill. I really appreciate it. Thanks, both of you, Bill and Jackie, and have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.